What is going on, everyone? Here we are, day one. I almost look like my camera. Let me clean that off a little bit. Almost like it was a little dirty, but it might just be because it's low light. We are here, getting ready to blast off. It's a little cloudy this morning. I think first light for us to be able to blast off is in like 5 minutes. So you can tell looking at the lake out there, it's a little dark right now. So we're not in a super hurry because we've never been here before. We don't want to run over a big piece of standing timber that we didn't have no clue about. So we're gonna take our time getting ready this morning. But check it out, the gray matching the conditions, wrapped nitro with Power Pro Glide, missile baits, Angler's Choice, nitro. All of my sponsors, Jesus Christ, first and foremost. He might be at the back, but he's got my back. Jesus Christ, Colossians 2:6-7. Then Lowrance, Mercury, Power Pole. I don't know how good these are coming out because there's not much light right now. My MLF badge and name I gotta have for competition. Sea Clear Power, Seagar, the Lynchburg Insurance Group, Sticks Fishing, Shimano, Spro, Gamakatsu, Fish Monkey, W&W Novelty, GT, General Tire, Wiley X. Got them all down right there. I've got the new Power Pole Move. The Move. Look at that baby. You can't hardly see. A little dark out there. My Lowrances all ready to go. Day one, first morning of practice. It's blowing today. It's supposed to be 10 to 20 mile per hour winds. The main lake, so the way this lake runs, it runs from the dam straight northwest up to the just two big highway bridges. That makes it, when you get a northwest wind, it's gonna be rough out there, guys. And I've decided to put in a smaller creek. I'm gonna stay around in this creek and explore in this creek just so I can kind of stay out of the wind a little bit today. The next 2 days are going to be gorgeous, but first day, get used to the lay of the land, get used to this place, see what they have going on around here in the small creek, and then we're gonna expand the next 2 days. But go out there, we're gonna be safe. Always wear our life preserver. It's already in the seat, ready to go, because you never know when you could have a malfunction, steering cable come off, spin you around. You've seen the videos, it happens. Don't think it won't happen to you. So wear your life jackets. It's very important to get you home and to get you safe. I'm a decent swimmer, not great by any means, and I know people that are great swimmers that I don't think plunging into 50-degree water temps and in the middle of the lake and swimming all the way shore is your idea of a good time. So wear your life jackets, guys. It's very important. But we're getting ready to kick it off. There's the old rig, ready to go. Let's get it done. Better look at her. She's ready to go. Let's go catch them up. All right, I'm out here idling around. I'm gonna flip the camera around. I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at and what it means to me. So as you can see right here, lots of bait and even fish in that 15 to 20 range. This is just my first idles. I mean, every time I'm seeing a big bait ball like that one right there, it's 15 to 20 is the range. They are really really stacking up on. So my first impressions are, that's where I'm going to want to be focusing. That's what that tells me. Find the bait, find the fish. Though all that bait right there might not have any fish under it, it gives me an idea of what depth most of the fish are going to be at on this body of water. You see, when you get shallower in the same area, less than 15 feet, bait disappears. That's why bass won't be here as much as they will be deeper. Follow the bait. Alright, midday update. So, like I said earlier, that bait that I found in that 15 to 20 foot showed you what it looked like. I stopped there and fished and caught several decent keepers, 2-3 pounds. So definitely a deal, but there's a lot of places that I'm idling that don't have the bait. So finding the bait, finding the fish, that's the key deal. Most anywhere you go, that fish have got to eat. They have got to fill their bellies. So find the bait, find the fish. That's proven itself again today. So keep on grinding. Going to take a minute just to bring you the boat of the week by Angler's Choice. This is a beautiful 2018 Ranger Z520L dual console powered by a Mercury Pro XS for under $62,000. It also has a Lowrance Ghost trolling motor, Lowrance electronics, and all the fit and finishes that make Rangers known for the brand they are. This right here can be found at anglerschoicemarine.com. So day one of this tournament is getting ready to kick off, and practice was tough. The reason you see a lot of practice footage is because I did a lot of idling. I did a lot of looking with forward-facing sonar, and it was tough. My biggest fish, I think, in practice was 3 to 4 pounds, and that was it. Getting keeper bites was something I was happy to have because it was that brutally tough. I just really could not figure this place out. So going into this day of competition, I really had a game plan of we're going to lay down a bunt, get a decent limit in the boat, hope and pray for a kicker, but the way practice was going, didn't feel like it was going to happen. But we're just gonna catch as many fish as possible, and just cull by ounces, because I had figured out 2 bites that were getting me a good number of bites. They just would not give me the caliber you need at Sam Rayburn. And one of those was offshore grass in that 5 to 15 foot of water, and I caught my biggest fish in practice around that, but it wasn't consistent. I wasn't getting a lot of bites doing it. So that was my primary pattern, just because my biggest fish came on it in practice. But my secondary pattern was going shallower, getting really shallow. Felt like a lot of the males were pulling up there, and my good buddy, rooming partner Steve Lopez, helped put me on these fish. He said, hey, there's a lot of fish up here. It's no size, but there's a lot of fish up here shallow. So I had that as my backup to just do like I said, just to lay down a bunt, get on base, get some points, get out of this tournament without totally killing my AOY chances and the chances of making it to the BPT next year. So that was the goal, was to just get fish in the boat. And as you can see here, I blast off, go across the lake, start off on the grass, a little deeper grass, and immediately I start catching some fish. And when you had a tough practice doing that, you know, getting those fish in the box early, that makes all the difference in the world. And it allows you to just breathe, relax, and know, okay, 5 fish are going to come in this boat. The way it's starting off, it's a pretty good chance. So let me just focus, let me just relax, and just get to work and get some points here. And if a big fish comes, Lord willing, it'll be a blessed event. But if not, it will still be a blessed event. I mean, to be able to be out here and be able to fish for a living, sure am super grateful to have this opportunity. But here you see my first fish, and it was a decent fish, but this really got the confidence and the ball rolling, especially after a tough practice.
Chunky bass. Let's go. Number one. Fatty. Butterball. Good one. That's what we need. 3 more like that and a big one. 3 more. Oh, thank you, Lord.
So this offshore grass, the ones I had in practice were on the drop shot, and that's what that first fish was on. But then I was like, I got to keep them honest. So I tied on a lipless Spro, a Ruka shad, and made a couple casts on it and immediately hooked up. And this wasn't a big fish, but I was thinking, ooh, maybe it's telling me something. And not so much. This just gave me confidence in the grass that ended up not being my main player.
Barely hooked. Barely hooked. Look at that. Grass in his mouth because he just came from a grass patch. Oh yeah, he's 14 and a quarter.
So this is midday. I spent a lot of time on that grass and it was not panning out. So I went to the shallow fish fairly early, fairly quick, because like I learned last year in the my rookie season, you can't get stubborn headed. You've got to let the fish tell you what's going on. So I went to the shallow pattern real quick. So this is just a shallow point, throwing the Missile Magic drop shot like I catch fish all around the country on. It's a fish catcher. If you struggle with figuring out how to catch limits, you really need to learn how to throw a drop shot with the Missile Magic worm on there. It will put fish in the boat. It will get you limits. Guaranteed. So for day one, we accomplished the goal. 5 fish to the scales, save some points, and give you a chance to have a rally bag on day 2. But we really figured out that shallow bite. Thank you, Steve Lopez, for telling me about that, because that shallow bite was holding some decent fish. No big ones, but just some solid fish. And I decided on day 2 I was going to do a lot more of that and just cull through as many fish as I could to get to a better sack for day 2. So here we go. Day 2 is getting ready to kick off, and as you can see here, it's a lot darker. The front is getting more and more in, and it's calling for a lot heavier rain today. Big shout out to Striker Rain Suit for keeping me focused and dry and able to do my job, because it came down some hard times this second day. You can see right here, it's dumping, and if I would have been cold and wet, I wouldn't have been able to focus on catching these fish one at a time, going through a lot of them, culling by ounces, and that was the name of the game for day 2. So here we go. I'm going to let the fish catches speak for themselves. Missile Magic worm, drop shot, was getting it done.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Look at that fish. Big Betty right there showed up to the party. Thank you, Lord. Let's go. Let her go. Right there. Missile magic worm. She wanted that thing, baby. She wanted it. Four and a half. Four and a half. Thank you, Lord. I have my net ready. Man, I'm catching big fish in here.
This is a pretty cool clip right here. I just caught that big one. Really helped me just forget every other thing and just decide, okay, I'm committing 100% to this bite, because now I have caught my biggest fish in the entire event and practice, and I'm catching a lot of fish. So those two things, why would you leave that? But this is really cool because I get back up front, I get my worm rigged back up, and I see on my forward face sonar another fish sitting in front of my trolling motor. And I pitch out there, and this happens. Back-to-back cast.
Thank you, Lord. Gives me a bone by limit, I think. Let's see.
Let me just put out a huge shout out to Bubba Scales. They are the best scales I've ever used. Super durable. I don't know how many times I've dropped them and they've never glitched, had a problem. Super accurate. And they're rechargeable too. Lithium battery that's rechargeable. Doesn't take no time for it to charge. I can't get enough props to the Bubba Scales. They make this process way easier.
Boat 12.
Well, there you have it. The missile magic worm on a drop shot bails me out again. I probably caught 30 to 40 keepers that second day on that combination. It catches lots of fish, it catches big fish, and it catches them all over the country. So if you're not throwing it, you need to give it a try. Also, make sure you're subscribed to Derek Hudson Fishing and Angler's Choice Marine. That is where all of my tournament coverage goes to. So if you don't want to miss anything, make sure you give both of those a subscribe.